The treaty was signed beneath the shimmering banners of 1,000 worlds, projected in holographic splendor across the Galactic Senate chamber. The Kherzon Empire, architects of centuries of subjugation, smiled their fanged smiles, offered what appeared to be an olive branch, the Peace and Economic Accord for Coordinated Expansion, or Peace Treaty, a masterstroke of diplomatic manipulation. The other species, desperate for stability after generations of war, signed with trembling hands. But humanity, scarred by its history, sharpened by conflict, and endlessly paranoid, had already seen the blood beneath the ink. Ambassador Reiko Tanaka stood alone at the human delegation's post, arms folded, her eyes unreadable as the ink of alien languages dried. The moment the Kherzon offered peace, Earth's leadership convened in secrecy. Within the fortified Lunar Command bunker, the Council of Defense did not cheer. They prepared. Intelligence reports had shown odd signals. Kherzon fleets quietly massing along what should have been demilitarized borders. Their peaceful outreach teams carried encrypted files and weapon-grade drones hidden beneath gift cargo. They were not offering peace. They were setting the galaxy's stage for a decapitation strike. The treaty would lull the great powers into disarmament, open trade routes and borders, and with one swift, silent blow, the Kherzon would shatter resistance before it could mobilize. But humanity had read the fine print and rewritten its playbook centuries ago. Reiko had signed nothing. She nodded in courtesy, smiled for the cameras, but Earth's name was glaringly absent on the final document. While the galaxy slept in celebration, Earth moved. Operation Red Mirage was enacted in silence. Hidden manufacturing centers across Mars, Luna, and the asteroid belt surged to life. Warships once mothballed in the Oort cloud were reactivated under new stealth signatures. Earth's infamous Blackwater Protocol, a cyber-espionage cascade, slipped into Kherzon command networks through 100 diplomatic ports. Not to sabotage, to watch, to wait, to strike only when it mattered. The Kherzon, confident in their deception, launched the trap 3 months later. It began with the sudden nullification of hyperspace relays in over a dozen trade sectors. Communications collapsed. Within hours, Kherzon dreadnoughts decloaked above major homeworlds. The Kalari, the Velsho, even the fortified Zanari strongholds. Orbital strikes commenced before governments could even issue statements. Capital cities were vaporized. Defense networks scrambled in vain. The galaxy convulsed in confusion and agony. But Earth had not slept. As the Kherzon unleashed their blitzkrieg, a message pulsed from Earth to the rest of the shattered galaxy. It was simple. We knew. Stand by. Moments later, the illusion cracked. As Kherzon forces approached Sol, prepared to silence the last holdout, they encountered nothing. No resistance, no transmissions, no movement. Their sensors showed a quiet system, lifeless and exposed. They moved in greedily, deploying their central fleet. 75 cruisers, 5 dreadnoughts, and the Imperial flagship Kherzon. They reached Earth orbit in formation, broadcast a mocking signal. Your time has come, Terrans. That's when the stars blinked. All at once, the blackness of space rippled. From behind Neptune's orbit, through pre-aligned slipgates, came the EarthFleet, not the civilian peacekeeping arm the Kherzon expected. No, these were the ghost battle groups, units thought to be decommissioned after the Titan skirmishes. Stealth-armored capital ships with gravitic null arrays, kinetic spear cannons, and the infamous Singularity Lances. The Kherzon didn't even have time to adjust formation. In seconds, their forward scout ships were reduced to fragments, their command channel jammed with static and a single human voice. We were never sleeping. Then came the Valkyrie drop. From orbit, tens of thousands of Earth's elite descent troops fell not in pods, but in phase-shifted exoframes, translucent until impact. The Kherzon garrison on Mars lasted 17 minutes. On Ganymede, the last broadcast was of troops being slaughtered by soldiers singing ancient Earth war songs. The main battle above Earth didn't last an hour. Human AI-managed flanking patterns cut the Kherzon fleet into thirds. The Kherzon's captain, stunned by the sudden reversal, screamed orders to retreat, but the space behind them collapsed, quite literally, as Earth's gravity well weapon deployed. The Kherzon was crushed into a singularity. Not even light escaped. Across the galaxy, as Kherzon forces celebrated their initial victories, their second wave found nothing awaiting them but ash and resistance. In orbit above Zanari Prime, a false Kherzon ship, manned by human infiltration teams, transmitted critical fleet vulnerabilities to the Zanari defense grid, allowing planetary cannons to wipe out invaders in minutes. On Velsho 2, Kherzon landing craft were greeted not by frightened diplomats, but by Terran-trained mercenaries with plasma razor mines already embedded in the soil. The trap had reversed. The ambush had been ambushed. And still, Earth wasn't finished. Operation Echo Vengeance commenced. Across the Kherzon Empire, their communications networks began to glitch, then unravel. The virus embedded months ago, during the signing of the treaty, now activated, corrupting command hierarchies, rerouting fleet movements, falsifying orders. Kherzon admirals began firing on each other under false pretenses. Supply ships were redirected to starless systems and abandoned. Worlds rebelled as food and medicine vanished. Their empire began to eat itself. The galaxy, meanwhile, reels in the chaos and turned toward Earth not in fear, but in stunned respect. The humans had not only survived the trap, they had seen it coming, played along, and detonated it in the enemy's hands. And now they offered no treaties, no negotiations, only one message, relayed to all star nations via unified burst transmission. We will rebuild together. But know this, if any power dares again to use peace as camouflage for conquest, Earth will not wait to be struck. We will see the shadows before they move. We will hear the silence before it falls. And when the moment comes, we will already be behind you, in the ruins of the Kherzon capital world. As human forces disabled the last planetary cannon, a group of alien envoys arrived, survivors from other devastated empires, hoping for revenge. They offered Earth leadership in a new interstellar alliance. But Tanaka, now commander of unified Terran strategy, only shook her head. We don't want to lead. We just refuse to be led to slaughter. The envoys nodded solemnly. The galaxy had changed, not because Earth had crushed an empire, but because Earth had done what none thought possible. They had predicted betrayal not with paranoia, but with preparation. Their power was not just weapons, but the will to never again be caught unaware. Even in peace, they had trained for war. Even in treaties, they had planned for treachery. And when war came cloaked in promises, Earth did not panic. It acted. A century later, cadets at the Galactic Defense Academy study the peace treaty as the greatest failed deception in recorded history. But their professors teach not to follow the Kherzon, nor even the brilliance of Earth's counteroffensive. Instead, they teach the mindset, vigilance over hope, intelligence over assumption, and humanity's lesson, carved into the shattered moons of the Kherzon throne world. Peace is sacred, but not blind, because humanity had evolved not to conquer, but to survive betrayal. And in a galaxy of shifting alliances and silver-tongued deceivers, survival was the sharpest weapon of all.